Okay, folks, here I am again. I'm really overworking myself this week. Back with another selection of science fiction paperbacks. Got a mixture of contemporary stuff and quite a few vintage paperbacks, which you know I prefer. Now, first lot I'm going to show you was donated to me. And by association donated to the channel by one of my viewers, Peter Case. I hope I've pronounced that right, Peter. So a big shout out to Peter. I'm very grateful, and I will start off by showing the stuff that you sent me. I'll start off with the more modern stuff. Sydney's Comet by Brian Herbert. Now, Brian Herbert has done a lot of Dune books, following the footsteps of his father. Too many, in my opinion, but that's a matter for opinion. And this particular one is from 1984, so it's not too modern. Then we have John Brosnan, the Paperbacks Invasion. Not familiar with either the author or the book, but I suspect that one's from the 80s as well. No, that's 1994, that one, so we're creeping a bit further towards contemporary. Right, it's a large format book, John Castle, Good News from Outer Space. Very nice condition, that one. That particular one hails from 1991. It's a Grafton book. I like Grafton books. They're always well produced, nice paper. This one's a juvenile. Terence Dix. I forget what series of books he did, but yeah, that's Space Jack. So it's a juvenile from 1979. So it's more or less in the territory of vintage, that one. All right, Dimension X. As you can see, that comprises two novels by Heinlein and C.M. Kornbluth. I suspect that might be a little earlier than I thought. Yeah, that's 1974. But these ones are definitely newer. Star Wars. Great title. I assume it's some sort of homage. Whether it's a comedy or not, I do not know. It's published in 1996 again. Very nice condition. And Bruce Sterling I'm more familiar with, of course. He was one of the cyberpunk authors, and that looks like it very well might be. It's a collection of, as you can see there, 13 stories. Very nice cover there, and that one was published in 1994. It's a Bantam paperback, I presume American, that one. And then last of the modern books is Golden Globe by John Farley. Farley, I remember him from the 70s. I think I've got a book by him from the 70s. I think this one's a bit more. That's an ace book again. It'll be an American printing, that one. I would imagine, and that is 1999. Okay, so that takes care of the newer stuff. We'll jump onto the more vintage. Virgin Planet by Paul Anderson. I don't think I'll get kicked off of YouTube showing a back view of a naked lady, but there you are. I'll just live in hope. That's a Mayflower book, and it's a reprint from 1969. Okay, right. These are the books I like. Anthologies from way back in the 70s. The Ninth Galaxy Reader. Never seen any of the others, so again in lovely condition for an older book. That's got 6 shillings, so I assume it's either early 70 or, oh right, it's actually 67, so goes back even farther than I suspected. Right, good old Bob Silverberg, that's the Shadow, again in very nice shape. That one looks a bit more. Yeah, that's 1978. That one, and there's a nice old one. Three to Conquer by Frank Russell. I mean, that's so old I couldn't even find it on Goodreads. Which is unusual, you can normally find any book on there. So I was unable to catalogue it, sadly, but you can see it's a corgi. You can just tell it's old by the price. I don't know if it tells you inside this. Well, it does, yeah. This was actually 1958. I love books from the 50s. I haven't got enough of them, so yeah, very, very happy with that one. There's one I remember having a long, long time ago. I remember it because the cover is so weird. Yeah, Agent of Chaos by Norman Spinrad, which was printed first English edition in 1972. The English Library, as you can see there. And this one I was particularly pleased with because I'm collecting this series and I don't have this one. I've got most of them up to about 19. But this one fills a gap. Very happy with that. That's an anthology, of course, and it was printed in 1970. Okay, and then White Fang Goes Dingo, what a great title. Thomas Dish, again, is a collection of stories. Thomas Dish was, very, very well respected author. Started off in the New Wave, and that's Arrow Books, 1971. That's a nice early one. Making sure this pile doesn't keel over here. Excuse me. Right now, this one's in lovely condition, almost mint. I like these. They call these pan lozenge for some reason, where you've got this grey area here. People actually collect pan lozenge, so I'm quite happy to get them. I actually have an American copy of this, but I'm keeping this one because it's so nice. You wouldn't think it was a second-hand book. That's the second printing from 1978. There's another series I collect, the Sphere Classics. I haven't got too many of these, so I was happy with that one. Piers Anthony, Macroscope. So this one's interesting because it was obviously at one time belonged to a seaman. As you can see there, Royal Navy, HMS Blake. I often wonder, when I get these old books, what their history is, who's had them and how many people have read them. And that was published by Sphere in 1972. Okay, and we're coming to the last one now. Best of Fritz Leiber. A collection, of course. Lovely condition. I've actually got an American edition of this, but it's slightly different. It has an intro by Frederick Pohl, so that's a good reason for me to keep this one, because it hasn't. And that was 1974. So yes, thank you very much again, Paul. If any of you out there, by the way, have got any science fiction books that you're going to get rid of for some reason, I'd appreciate getting them. I'm quite happy to reimburse for the postage. So yeah, I mean, if there's any knocking about that are going to go in the bin or what have you, or you into one of these paper bins that you see around, yeah, please let me know via the comments section, and we'll make some arrangement. I'd be glad to hear from you. Right, the rest of these were charity shop efforts. Quite nice stuff as well. That's Ian Banks who writes these enormous tomes. This is part of as you can see, they're part of the Culture series. I think there's 8 or 9 of these. I've got most of them now, and I think that's one of the more recent ones. Ian Banks. I'll not bother going into the publication dates for these because they're all fairly recent. Yeah, that was a nice one to get. A couple of quid in the zone. That's because a famous British magazine that started up, I think in the 70s, 80s, I can't remember. But yeah, I've never seen any of those. It's a nice one. Now this one, these next couple I actually got from charity shop. They're brand new. You know, there's not a mark on them. They're absolutely brand new. I wanted that one in particular because it's a Hugo Award winner, Red Shirts by John Scalzi. Yeah, so it'll come in handy maybe for my Hugo project that some of you might be familiar with. So, yep, very happy with that. And I saw another book by him that's actually Forbidden Planet signed edition. So, yep, I thought we'll have some of that. It's by Tor Books, who seem to do quite a lot of modern books these days, and there you can see the signature such as it is in there. So that's a couple of John Scalzi books, and then of course Peter Hamilton. He's the king of massive novels. I mean, look at the state of that. God, take you 3 weeks to read that, or it would me anyway, probably 4. And that is called The Abyss Beyond Dreams. And that is a Pan book. Have you noticed how modern books don't have the nice artwork that the old vintage books used to have? Now this next little lot I bought from a charity shop. They must have had an influx of vintage books in, and I was amazed. You very rarely find good condition vintage books such as these that I'm going to show you in an ordinary bookshop. I mean, there is a shop, charity shop in my area that specialises in books, and you can pick up, bits and pieces from there. But this is just an actual normal charity shop, and got some very nice stuff. That's Al Murick by Robert Howard from Ace Books. I remember having that one. It's not in the greatest condition, but for its age, I don't mind a bit of wear, as you know. It's all adds to the nostalgia. I used to buy them in this condition many moons ago, and that is from 1964. Move these out of the way so I've got room. Now this one is different again. Gulliver of Mars. This is sort of a Burroughs homage or rip-off if you're really unkind. But this one is in absolutely beautiful condition. All for £2, you really can't complain. It's still got the receipt in it. That one of course I should mention, you'll probably recognise that as a Frank Frazetta cover. And I collect Frank Frazetta covers anyway, so this is a double joy for me because I like the old Ace books. Doesn't actually say which year that is, but I would imagine it's round about 65 from what I know of these things. And there's another nice condition one, a couple of quid, Wizard of Lemuria by Lynn Carter. Again, another one of the Ace small editions. This will be around 65, I would imagine. Good guess, yeah, 65. And then now this is one of the larger Ace books. I already had this one, but I'm going to replace it because this one's in minty condition. So I was amazed when I saw these. Obviously, whoever donated them has kept them in nice condition, and that is 1967, a bit later. Lee Brackett again, The Big Jump. That was not in as good condition, but certainly nothing to worry about. And Lee Brackett, The Big Jump, and that one house from, doesn't say, but there again I would think 67, 68. Right, this is a nice one, a nice edition of a Ray Bradbury, The Small Assassin. You don't see too many of these Ace Bradburys about, so I was very happy to get that in very nice condition. I don't think there's hardly a blemish on it. And of course it's a collection of his stories, and that actually goes back to 1962, so yeah, nice. It's not actually marketed as science fiction, that one, by the way. Now this next couple, I remember these very well and delighted to pick these up for a couple of quid each. Whoever had them has actually given them a plastic cover, as you can see there. And these are the 3 Callisto books by Lynn Carter. That's Jandar, first in the series. As I say, I remember these very well because I loved the covers back in the day. And this was a second printing from 1973. And then we had second book, The Black Legion of, as I say, just beautiful covers there. Same again, this will be around about the same time. So they all came out together. And then the Sky Pirates of Callisto. I mean, just beautiful, just gorgeous books. So I was over the moon with those at 2 quid. And then I remember this one very well because of the cover. It's a Jeff Jones cover. I love Jeff Jones. Solomon Kane. There's been a few Solomon Kane books over the years, but I remember that one in particular just because of the lovely cover, and it's in lovely condition as well. So it's a very welcome addition to my swords and sorcery collection, as I call them. Yeah, so there you are, folks. Another video, another day, another video. Hope you enjoyed that one, all you science fiction fans. So thank you for watching and subscribing, and please share this if you can so I can get it round to as many people as possible. As I say, if you've got anything you don't want, send it in. I'll be very happy to hear from you. So I'll be along very shortly, no doubt, with something else. No idea what at the moment, but thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. Bye-bye now.